You're watching Football Daily and you know what's up by now. Today we'll be covering this week's biggest transfer rumours. But if you hear any yourself, remember to tweet them in. To do so, make sure you're following us on Twitter and tweet #TransferTalk to me at DoogieFFTD or the Football Daily account. Also, as ever, make sure you like and subscribe. We kick off this week's roundup with the latest in the Mauro Icardi saga. Last week we brought you the news that Icardi had been stripped of the Inter captaincy after a breakdown in contract talks, with Handanovic taking over. He then missed their Europa League game against Rapid Vienna, followed by their 2-1 victory over Sampdoria with a mysterious injury. Now, many people believe that Real Madrid would be the most likely destination for the 8-capped Argentine, but now another opportunity closer to home has presented itself. Juventus sporting director Fabio Paratici has revealed on Radio Rai that the 34-time Italian champions have inquired about the Nerazzurri talisman. The quotes are as follows: "We asked for info, we wanted to know what Icardi thinks about playing for Juve," before going on to say, "Lately there has been no contact. We are in February, he is an Inter player. It's a theme we will come back to, or not, in June." Icardi joining Juventus is a terrifying prospect for the rest of the league. Unbeaten and 13 points clear at the time of writing, the last thing other teams want to see is a man who has scored 122 goals in 210 games since joining from Sampdoria, complementing an attack already consisting of Cristiano Ronaldo, Paulo Dybala, Douglas Costa, Mario Mandzukic and Federico Bernardeschi. Italian football fans, do you see this happening though, or is a move abroad more likely? Let us know in the comments below. Staying in Italy now, there are plenty of rumours flying around that Spurs are eyeing up an AC Milan midfielder this summer. No, it's not Bakayoko, Suso or Calhanoglu, but instead 22-year-old all-action midfielder Franck Kessié. The 25-capped Ivory Coast international came through the academy at Atalanta, for whom he made 31 appearances during the 16-17 season. Kessié signed a contract with Ledea until 2021 before he was sent on a 2-year loan spell to Milan with an obligation to buy. Sport Media Set claim that Spurs, along with Arsenal and Chelsea, are both interested in signing him, and you can see why. Kessié has missed just 2 of AC Milan's 23 league games so far this season, scoring 2 and assisting 3. Pochettino has no doubt been attracted by his solid all-round numbers: 2.3 tackles and interceptions, 1.7 shots, and the same number of key passes per 90 from central midfield. Kessié has certainly got all the tools to develop into a top talent. And who better to get the best out of him than Pochettino, but whether he is there next season to do it remains unclear. Spurs fans, would you be keen on Kessié's arrival? Let us know, as ever, down below. Jose Mourinho wasn't going to stay as a Russia Today pundit for long, and this week we've had his first hint as to his new destination. The 56-year-old has been out of work since being unceremoniously sacked by Man United at the beginning of December, on the back of their worst ever start to a Premier League season. Having managed in his native Portugal, England, Italy and Spain, Mourinho has a well-travelled and trophy-littered CV. And talking to BN Sports recently, he made it perfectly clear that he wouldn't rule out adding another country to it. Asked about the prospect of working in Liga at some stage in the future, Mourinho said, "I can imagine that, yes. I've worked in 4 different countries and I like that. To work in another league would be a fantastic experience." This is clearly an attempt to woo PSG, who have repeatedly been linked to Mourinho in the past. But with the Parisians 12 points clear at the summer of Liga and almost certainly set to go through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, it seems highly unlikely they would swap Tuchel for a man who left United in tatters just 2 months ago. We want to hear from you though. Where do you think Mourinho will end up managing next? Pick from Italy, Spain, France, England or maybe even China. Vote in the poll above. From the most talked about manager in world football to one of its most talked about talents, it seems that Porto defender Eder Militao is set for a big summer move. The 21-year-old Brazilian who earned his first cap last September against El Salvador is having a fantastic first season in Europe after his €7 million switch from Sao Paulo last August. According to Marca, Militao, who can play centrally or on the right of defence, has perked the interest of Juventus but most firmly Real Madrid, who are willing to pay upwards of €50 million to land their man. Everything about Militao in his young career seems to suggest he will go right to the very top. He has missed just 3 of the Dragons League games, as they sit 1 point clear of Benfica at the summer of Liga NOS, and has played 6 Champions League games to boot. His superb performances in that competition have helped his team into the last 16, where they have a crucial away goal in their tie against Roma. His performances have been nothing short of exceptional in the competition: 4.2 tackles and interceptions and 3.2 aerial duels won. That's more than Thiago Silva and Jose Jimenez. Versatile and incredibly solid defensively, it's no surprise that Real Madrid are eyeing him up as the long-term heir to Sergio Ramos. Madristas though, do you think he is up to the task? Let us know down below. Mesut Ozil's situation is none the clearer, with the former German international having played just 102 minutes of football in 2019 across 10 possible games. If Arsenal didn't want to sell him, why on earth don't they play him, especially considering his £350,000 per week wages? Arsene Wenger, who brought Ozil to the club for a then club record £42 million on deadline day in 2013, has waded into the debate. Asked about the situation at the Larios World Sports Awards in Monaco, Wenger revealed, "Most of the time now we think when we sign a player for 5 years we have a good player for 5 years. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they practice. They play their best, because they might be in their comfort zone." But when pressed about whether gifting Ozil this new contract, which has made him, quote, comfortable, was a mistake, Wenger said, "The problem is that if you want to buy a player like him, you have to spend £100 million. But surely the mistake from Arsenal and Arsene was giving Ozil this contract when they couldn't be sure whether he would fit into the new manager's plans, which he clearly doesn't. And with Ozil now not playing, his value is decreasing by the day, whilst Arsenal continue to be rinsed by his wages. This situation is a mess and we are struggling to see a way out. But Calcio Mercato reported this week that Inter Milan are one possible destination. Whether they have the funds required to cover his wages, let alone the fee with 2.5 years left on his current deal, is another matter entirely. And the rumours are flying as to who could be set to replace him, with 19-year-old Bayer Leverkusen number 10 Kai Havertz, who has 11 goal involvements in 22 league games this season, and Lille's flying winger Nicolas Pepe the most likely options. Arsenal fans, what are your thoughts though? Can you see him leaving, and if so, where? And who would you bring in to replace him? We need answers. We need your help. Let us know in the comments below. One player who will most certainly be on his way this summer is Eintracht Frankfurt's lethal striker Luka Jovic. He has 19 goals and 4 assists to his name in 18-19, with an average of a goal contribution every 73 minutes as he attempts to spearhead his side into the latter stages of the Europa League and into the Bundesliga top 4. Goal are claiming this week that there is set to be a 4-way battle for his signature, with Real Madrid, Chelsea, Bayern Munich and Barcelona all incredibly interested. The Serb is actually currently on loan in Germany from Benfica, but goal right that Adi Hütter's men are keen to sign him permanently for €6 million before selling him for upwards of 60. It seems unlikely that the man currently leading the race for the Bundesliga Golden Boot, ahead of Lewandowski, Marco Reus and Paco Alcácer, would elect to join Chelsea, a club not sure of Champions League football and currently in turmoil. A move to Barcelona has become the long-term heir to Luis Suarez, would therefore seem most likely, but don't rule out a reunion with his former Frankfurt coach Niko Kovac in Bavaria. It's going to be a fascinating next couple of months for the young Serb. Where do you guys think he should go? Let us know down below. And finally, we bring you the latest news on another saga which will no doubt rumble on until this summer, that of Neymar. The 27-year-old Brazilian has been at PSG ever since his €222 million move in August 2017, and has been firing ever since, racking up 43 goals and 24 assists in just 46 League and Champions League games. Despite that success, a potential move to Real Madrid has never been far from Europe's back pages. And now the Times are claiming that Los Blancos have, quote, set their sights on Neymar as their #1 target this summer. With Barcelona president Josep Bartomeu conceding it would be virtually impossible to re-sign Neymar, Real Madrid are potentially the only club in world football with the resources and recent history to persuade Neymar to join them. Would PSG let him go? Almost certainly not, unless it was a world record fee.